Oh my God. So that sprinkler, I think, is going to hit me in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we gotta change to the other side of the table. Oh my God. Okay. Please, hair stay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God. My hair. All right. There's an animal in that tree, and I really hope it doesn't come out and attack me, because there's an animal in that tree. I can hear it scurrying. Please don't kill me. Okay. What's up, YouTube? Fast forward a year later. And a year later, I want to tell you guys the story of how I actually moved to Toronto. And the reason I want to tell you guys is because it made such an impact on my life, and it was such a huge decision that I made at that time in my life at such a young age. I definitely had huge balls to do what I did. Now, a year later, I had just turned 19. The owner of the marketing company that I was working for wanted to take me out to dinner to celebrate like my birthday. He was kind of like a big brother figure to me. So something you guys should know is that my biggest dream in life was always to move to Toronto since a very young age. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know when I was going to go. I didn't know how I was going to have the money to go, but I just knew I was going to make it to Toronto somehow, some way. That was my dream goal. So a year later, the owner takes me to dinner. He has an office in Toronto. At dinner, I bring up the fact that Toronto has always been my dream city. And I tell him, the second that you need an administrator in Toronto or anything, you just have to let me know and I will be there. I will move there in 1 second. So we're going to fast forward to like end of October. My birthday's in September, so now it's end of October. He calls me up while I'm at work, and he goes, "Okay, Joanna, remember the time that you told me when I needed you in Toronto, you'd be ready in a split second? Well, now's your opportunity." I've always been the type of woman that when I see an opportunity, I don't just open that door, I kick that door in. And that's exactly what I did at 19 years old. I busted through that door. He told me, "I just fired my administrator. I need a new administrator. I want you here, but I want you here. I need you here in 2 weeks." I said, "No problem." I said goodbye to my friends. I said goodbye to my family. And I packed 2 bags. 2 weeks later, I jumped on a Greyhound and I was in Toronto. I had no money. I had literally $60 in my bank account. I rented a shithole rent-a-room apartment, but I was close to the office. I was in my dream city. I didn't really know anybody at this point, but I was just happy to be living in my dream city. Toronto, I didn't have a lot of money at the time, and the Good Life membership that I had, I canceled it because I had no money to really pay it. So I start seeing this guy, and then he had been kind of like a boxer, and he kind of stopped working out when he saw me because we were just together all the time. So a couple months later, he said, "I really want to join the gym. I feel like I'm starting to put on weight, and I want to get back into being physically active." So I said, "No problem." He said, "Why don't you join with me? We can work out together." I'm like, "Great, awesome." So we join Premier Fitness. It's super cheap. Whenever you join a new gym, they always have you do like a fitness evaluation. So I remember they had me do a fitness evaluation. I showed up, I had been really sick, I had a cold, and they told me a lot of things that I didn't want to hear at that time, that I was not ready to hear. Now working in a gym, many, many years later, I realized that when it comes to fitness, a lot of people get very defensive about their goals, and they don't want to hear people get up in their face and tell them what they like, or what they don't want to know. So at that time, I was very defensive, very guarded. They told me a lot of things I didn't want to hear, but I knew at that time I did need to hear them. I started working out, kind of just doing a little bit of cardio here and there. Did I have a plan? No. Did I have goals? No. I wasn't successful. After a couple months, I canceled my gym membership. fast forward, me and the guy end up breaking up. You know, I go through kind of like a really depressive time in my life because he was my first love, my first serious relationship. So I start eating a lot and just eating and kind of like covering my sadness and feelings with food. So I get to a point where I'm starting to gain weight. I don't own a scale, but I can see it in my clothes, I can see it in my body, I can see it in my face, and I don't feel good. At this time too, I was getting sick a lot. I was getting sick, you know, every month I was sick. I was calling in sick to work at least once a month. On top of that, I had a really stressful job at the time. I left the marketing company and I was working for, I was in the banking industry doing collections for different banks. So it was a very stressful job with lots of something in my lifestyle had to change, but I didn't know how to make that change. So one day I was at work pretending to work because I really didn't work, and I don't know how I kept that job for so long. I was at work and I was sitting beside my friend Melissa, and we were looking at the daily Groupons, and a Groupon pops up for Win Fitness, and it was something like, you know, join the gym. It was pay $40 for 4 months. You pay the $40 up front and you get the gym membership for 4 months, and then after that you can choose to continue or you can choose to cancel. I'm like, oh cool, that's a really good deal, so let me sign up. So I signed up. They call me up to do, you know, the fitness evaluation like always. So I go in, I do the fitness evaluation, I meet with the fitness manager, does all my measurements, does everything. At this time I was more open to hearing suggestions and feedback because I knew I had to do something different about my fitness. I knew something had to change in my lifestyle. We do the whole fitness evaluation and he goes, would you be interested in personal training? And I said, well, of course, if I can afford it. And he says, well, what if I can make it really affordable for you? And I said, yeah, of course, I'd be so down. So he lays out a plan and he's like, if you buy like an 8-pack of personal training, then what we can do is we can have you pay it like, I think it was $40 or $60 a month over the course of 8 months, like something super realistic that anyone could really afford. I was like, oh yeah, great, I can do that. And an 8-pack is all I really wanted because at that time, because I thought, okay, awesome, you know, if I do a session once a week, at least that'll get me active and moving and teach me a little bit about fitness, and it'll teach me about the foundation of fitness, because I felt that's what I needed at that time. I guess like a week later, I meet with my personal trainer, Natalie. Natalie was the first person who ever got me into fitness, who made me realize how I could transform my body and how capable I actually was. It was a huge inspiration to me. Natalie, if you're watching this, I adore you because you're the first person who ever showed me what I was capable of in my body. And I just want to say congratulations to you because I know you've launched your own fitness company. I watched Natalie, and Natalie is just like this gorgeous, gorgeous girl with just a crazy nice body, the perfect bum. She starts, you know, we start training. Again, do I know what I'm doing? Not really. Do I have any really firm goals? No. Do I have like a deadline of what I want to achieve or like my weight loss? Or no, I don't know anything. I kind of just follow whatever plan she gives me, and I just show up once a week, you know, sometimes twice a week, and we do the workouts. And I'm starting to see results. And I like the results I'm seeing, so of course I purchased more packages. Okay guys, so I had to find a new place to film because I got attacked by sprinklers, which was not cool. I didn't even know there were sprinklers in this park. My camera almost got wet. It was terrible. I ran for my life. So I started training with Natalie. Natalie is freaking awesome. I start to see really crazy results. You know, the lines in my stomach start to come out. My cellulite like completely goes away. I get super, super small. I'll see if I have any old pictures. If I do, I'll post them on the screen now. But I get into probably the best shape of my life. Of course, I purchase more sessions. Now, when our sessions come to an end, I continue going to the gym. I continue going about like, you know, 3 days a week. And then I start going down to 2 days a week. Then I go down to 1 day a week. Then I go down to 0 days a week. And the reason why is because I didn't really have any goals that I was striving towards. I liked the results I was getting when I was with Natalie, but I didn't really know what I wanted to accomplish with my fitness life or my goals. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So slowly I started to lose motivation because I didn't really know I start falling back into unhealthy eating habits. I stop going to the gym and I just fall back into unhealthy eating habits, okay? One day, again, when I'm at work, pretending to wear it because I never really wear it, I see a Groupon pop up. And the Groupon was for 20 salsa classes for like $10 or $20, something like ridiculously cheap like that. Of course, I purchased the Groupon. I had always wanted to learn salsa like my whole life. I would go on YouTube and I watched all these salsa stars and bachata stars and I'd be like, wow, I wanted to dance like that. I danced most of my life. I'd done hip hop, jazz, tap. I'd done a lot of different styles of dancing. So salsa was something that I was really interested in because I'm Latina and that's just part of my culture. So I buy the Groupon, go to the class. Of course, from the very first step, completely, madly, passionately fall in love with this style of dance, and I'm just head over heels. I complete all the lessons. Just as I complete all the lessons, I meet someone. We start dating. Again, it's a really intense whirlwind kind of relationship. Because we start dating, he doesn't really work out, he doesn't really eat healthy. He danced, but he didn't dance like I danced. Like I was really hardcore going to salsa congresses and everything. So I end up dropping everything that I love or that I enjoy for this person. Our schedules were both really, really hectic at the time, and like I said, he didn't really eat healthy. So sometimes when he'd drive me to work, we were eating McDonald's for breakfast, 3 times a week, sometimes more, sometimes we were having it for dinner. We had really unhealthy eating habits. So of course, because of this, I start to see weight come back onto my body, and I slowly gain weight, slowly gain weight, slowly gain weight. We end up breaking up because one day I was just like, what am I doing? I do care for this guy, but I've given up everything that I love or that I enjoy for this person, and that's not right. So I end up breaking up. I'm like, okay, I need to do something about my fitness life again. I need to get active again. I want to get moving. So at this time I had canceled my membership at Win Fitness already, and now I decide to join Extreme Fitness. Yay, like my 4th gym, I believe. So I joined Extreme Fitness, which is super, super fancy gym, and funny enough, Good Life ends up buying them out. So go back to my Good Life membership. This evaluation, like always, and the guy's like, if I can get you a personal trainer, super affordable, would you do it? Of course, I say yes, because I've told you guys in previous videos, I'm a really easy sell. So of course I buy whatever you're selling me as long as I have the money. So I buy the gym membership, I buy the personal training, end up training with this Russian older lady. She's her 1 to 2 times a week, and I'm not like, I don't have any goals. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know I want to lose weight, but I don't know my direction of where I want to go. So I'm training with her and I'm not really seeing results, but it was because of me, not because of her, because I didn't know what direction I was really wanted to go to, because mentally I wasn't ready to give in to my fitness. So end up finish out my sessions, decide I want a different trainer. So I end up training with another guy. His name is Pablo. Switch over to Pablo. He doesn't really know what he's doing. Looking back now, the guy didn't really know what he was doing. I just finished up my personal training sessions, and that's kind of it. Stopped working out for quite a while. My fitness life for a long time was, I would go for 1 week and then not go for like 6 months, and then go for 2 weeks and then not go for 3 months, or go really hard a couple days and then just not go. So while this whole thing is going on, I'm slowly putting on weight, but not really realizing it, because it's slowly over the course of probably about 3 or 4 years, I'm putting on weight, putting on weight, putting on weight. So while this whole thing is going on, I fall back into dance. When I break up with a guy, I realize I want to go back to dancing, and I start dancing like crazy. I start dancing, 4-5 days a week, going to different salsa socials. And for those who don't know what salsa socials are, you just show up to a place and salsa music is playing, there's a DJ, and people are all there to dance, and you don't have to know anyone, you just show up and you just dance. So it was really awesome. I didn't know a lot of people in Toronto still. This is many years later. I didn't have a lot of friends. Go to these social events where I could meet people and not have to bring anyone was really, really awesome. So I throw myself into dance. I start dancing like crazy. It becomes like my life, and I basically just stop working out for a very, very long time. Dancing, I throw myself into dance, and I'm doing that for, quite a few years. I'm not working out. Now, on the surface, I think a lot of people saw me as a super happy, bubbly girl. I was known in the salsa community. I ran a dance blog. I interviewed dancers. I was going out to dance all the time. But behind closed doors, I was dealing with a lot of shit going on in my life. I had been in Toronto for quite a while now, 6.5 years. I hadn't really achieved any goals that I wanted originally when I moved there. I didn't really have a lot of money saved. I was still living in like crappy apartments. I'd done some advancements in my career, but I still didn't know what direction I wanted to do in my life. I missed my family, I missed my friends, and I kind of fall into a bit of a depression, and I start to use food to medicate and make myself feel better. A lot of the time when I lived in Toronto, I honestly barely did groceries. I was eating out all the time. I used to have Tim Hortons almost on a daily basis. And while this whole thing was going on, I developed a really severe case of acne. I had acne literally all over my face. There was one point where my mom came to visit me and she saw my skin and she was like, "What's going on with your skin?" Because I'd never had acne that severe. It was really, really bad, and it had to do with the foods that I was eating. Everything that was going on deep inside of my body, the unhappiness that I felt like deep inside, everything was coming out in my weight, my skin, my face. It was like manifesting every way. Everything that I was pushing down was coming out. So I knew something in my life had to change. Now, my whole life, like I said, I wanted to live in Toronto, and I was always very against the idea of moving back to Ottawa because I thought, if I moved back to Ottawa, I was a failure. I failed at life. I couldn't make it in the city of my dreams. I couldn't make it in the city that I always wanted to be in, always. So one day I was talking with a friend, and my friend had said, "Do you ever think about moving back to Ottawa?" And I clearly said no. I thought about that question for a long time. I did a lot of thinking, I did a lot of planning, and I realized that something in my life had to change. My fitness life, my goals weren't going the way I wanted to. My skin was broken out, my eczema was broken out. I originally, when I was working with my first trainer, Natalie, I got down to 130 pounds. So I gained over, 30 pounds and more between the course of over 3 to 4 years. That was the heaviest I ever was, 167 pounds. So I knew something in my life had to change. I called up my mom and I said, "Listen, I need to reevaluate my life. My goals are not going the way I want to. Every little piece of unhappiness that I have deep down inside is literally coming out and manifesting in my body, and I need to do something about this weight. I need to do something about my fitness. I need to do something about my life goals. I need to come home to Ottawa, and I need to reevaluate my life and see what direction I want to go into." With all of my friends, all of them separately, I say goodbye to each one of them. I sell all my shit. I pack items in my bag, and I say goodbye to everyone and come home to Ottawa. So I come home to Ottawa with the determination of finally I'm going to do something about all my goals. I'm going to, get my weight in check. I'm going to get my nutrition in check. I'm going to get my skin. Everything's going to get it into check. Finally, I'm going to accomplish my goals. Yes, I'm going to do it. All right, guys. So I'm going to end it here. Again, I talked way more than I was meant to talk, and I need to learn to stop talking so much. The next part of my fitness story will be the last part. It is when I finally moved back to Ottawa and how I actually conquered my fitness, how I conquered my mental being, and who helped me do that along the way. So I'm excited to share that part with you guys because it took me a long time to get to the healthy place that I am at now. And I hope that by sharing my struggles, it will teach you guys something, or you can relate to it, or maybe open your eyes to your own fitness struggles that you're having. Alright? Have a fantastic night because it's nighttime for me. I am going to bed. Peace.